Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Today is October 1st of 2020, and we are now in the fourth quarter of the year. And I mean, it's really exciting because, listen, this is your breakout story, right? This is my breakout story. This is everybody's breakout story. The fourth quarter, the last 3 months, make them count. I mean, here's the thing, right? Say, for instance, you went through a breakup, or you found out that your family is a bunch of used toilet paper on a stick, or you were betrayed by a coworker or whatever. Listen, this year sucked. Okay, let's not monkey about with it. It sucked. A lot of things happened. Some of us lost people. Some of us lost jobs, lost income, lost homes. There was a lot of loss. I think the theme of this year was loss. And just like with anything, life always happens in cycles, right? So when you have a loss, there's usually a gain somewhere else down the line. Now, some losses are permanent. Like if you have a death of a family member, that's permanent. If you lose a job, you can always get another job. You can open a business. You can do a side hustle. You can get with someone who's rich, right? Sometimes you can lose a girlfriend, you can lose a boyfriend, a husband, a fiance, whatever. Not through death, but through the relationship not working out. And we had a lot of those happen this year, right? But the good thing is you can always build back. And just because this is, maybe the whole year you felt was a waste. Maybe this whole year you felt was just like one loss after another, one kick to the gonads after another, which it was, and it still is. I mean, we're not out of the woodworks yet. We all have the individual choice to turn things around. And I talk about this a lot on my channel, right? Yes, I talk about narc abuse. Yes, I talk about the things you need to watch out for with narcissistic parents, narcissistic relatives, people who you've been intimate with, yada, yada, yada. But I want to focus more on the personal responsibility side of things, right? Knowing what we know. Number one, if you don't know that much about narc abuse, or you're new to the channel, you're new to the community, you're new to all of this, go down the rabbit hole of YouTube. Go down the rabbit hole of Google. Couple of YouTubers come to mind. Dr. Romani, Lisa Romano, Narcology Unscripted, JC Desmond. Who else? The Little Shaman. There's a whole bunch, okay, that I haven't, that just don't bubble up to the surface of my mind. Go down that rabbit hole. There's tons. I guarantee every question you're looking to ask or looking to have answered is in those videos, right? What do you do when you find out the narc was cheating on you? What do you do when you find out the narc has replaced you with somebody new? How do you get revenge on the narc? All that information is out there, okay? But at the end of the day, you can know everything you need to know about narcissism and have yourself a, what do they call it? An honorary doctorate in narcology studies, or the study of narcology, right? Or the study of narcissism. Honorary degree in narcology. I like that. Okay? And still not be where you want to be. And still not have what you want to have. And still repeat patterns and unhealthy, toxic behaviors that you don't want to repeat. Right? I'm guilty of this. I know when I first started the journey back in late 2019, early 2020, I spent at least the first 2 or 3 weeks, I spent probably about 100 to 200 hours on YouTube. I mean, I was watching videos from 4 a.m. to 1 a.m. at night. okay? I could not sleep, I could not eat, I couldn't freaking think, because I was so devastated by what I was starting to learn and comprehend. And, you know, it was great. And then what wound up happening was I noticed that I was just stuck in a rut of just trying to figure out the ex or the exes or the family members or whatever, and not really paying attention to my own dreams, my own passions, my own goals, my own wants and desires, my own good qualities that I wanted to build up, my own negative qualities that I wanted to rein in. And yes, you can do both. You can build up your good and learn how to tame your bad, okay? Don't let someone tell you otherwise, like just focus on the bad or just focus on the good. Like, no, that's imbalance, in my opinion. Feel free to argue about it in the comments, right? But it was comfortable, because then all you got to do, right, is just look and talk about and think about what this person is doing. Why did they say this? What are they doing? Let me go back in the past, of which I cannot repeat nor alter, and piece together what it is that caused them to say this, what it is that caused them to do that, right? It's comforting. But I'll tell you one thing, right? Comfort zones are cemeteries, not playgrounds. When you're healing, the painful thing about healing and the good thing about healing is that there's an unwritten contract that you make with the universe that says, I will be better because of this. It's unwritten, but it's an agreement between you and the universe. You could say between you and God, you and fate, whatever you want to say. Yay for allergies in October. And in order to do better, you got to stop focusing on them. Believe it or not. My hope is that you stop watching my videos to get a warm and fuzzy feeling about the narc ex, the narc mom, the narc dad, the narc sibling, the narc coworker, the narc boss, the narc friend, the narc neighbor, the narc politician. And I hope you start looking more towards the motivation, more towards the self-growth. Because here's what's happening, right? When we get hurt, we want to go into a shell. That's the natural body's defense system. And it's so much easier to think and worry about what the ex is doing. We'll just focus on that, because that's the majority of why y'all watch my videos. I see the stats, I see the Google tracking, I see all that, which videos are getting the most hits. And it's more about getting dumped, getting discarded. You know, why did they say this? Why did they do that? How did I build myself up? That's why y'all here. All right, let's not sugarcoat things, right? And it's comforting to talk about them and what they're doing, but at some point you got to tell yourself, all right, I got to pick myself up. I don't feel like it. I don't want to. I'm angry. I'm mad. I want vengeance on them, while simultaneously wanting them to realize what the hell they had and come to their senses and realize that I was the best they ever had. And I want them to feel some way, some guilt, right? You got to get out of that mindset. You got to take responsibility for your healing. I had to do it. One day I just woke up and say, yo, I'm tired of this. Like, number one, they're never going to change. And they're never going to realize what they have with you. They're never going to realize what they have with me. They may have fake epiphanies. They may have foxhole confessions. That's expression. I think it came from World War I, World War II. The little holes that would happen because bombs would hit the ground. And the soldiers would get in them because they're advancing, and they are afraid for their lives, or they feel like, death is certain, and they just start confessing stuff, right? That's called a foxhole confession. It's because you're under duress. They'll do that. Trust me. Something's going on in their life. Things aren't working out with the new boo. Money problems, housing problems, whatever. Next thing you know, they're like, wow, I realized what I had with you, and I just want my family back, and blah blah blah. And they'll say what they need to say, and you'll think about it and you'll be like, oh wow, they see the light. Nah, they ain't see the light. They just trying to use you again, right? So you get stuck playing that, and you totally forget that you got your own life to live. You got to pick up and be better. You got to look at this and use the situation as a, I guess you could say, catalyst, a turning point, plot twist, whatever, to say, you know what? I'm going to be 10 times better than when I was with them. I'm going to get physically fit. I'm going to get a therapist. I'm going to work through the inner trauma that I've been, either hiding or putting under the covers for so long. I'm going to work on getting my money right. I'm going to work on getting my mind right. I'm going to work on getting my family right. I'm going to work on pursuing my goals, my ambitions. I'm going to work on finding what my mission is, what my goals are, what my purpose is. Because listen, a lot of times, narcs will take you so far off your path that you'll forget who you are. You will, because you're going to be so busy pouring into them. They are a bottomless pit. They're a hole with the bottom cut out. But you're going to pour into them and sacrifice everything. Years, time, money, trust, love, affection, loyalty. You'll sacrifice all that on their altar just to come up empty-handed, just for them to come out and leave you a week before Thanksgiving, or for them to admit that they were cheating on you with Cheryl from accounting, or for them as a parent to tell you you were never good enough, right? You'll lose yourself. And you got to find yourself, but you got to take responsibility for that. You got to take responsibility to find yourself. You got to take responsibility to find your purpose, your mission, your goals. You got to take responsibility to get back on the horse. Nobody's going to do it for you. No YouTube coach, no life coach, no therapist, no nothing. We can't get you back on the horse. I can't get you back on the horse. You can't get me back on the horse. You got to decide to get back on the horse. And when the moment you make that decision, that's when the real healing starts, believe it or not. It's not when you do like 500 hours of research on YouTube and, read all the books and all that. The real healing is when you say, you know what? I'm going to pour back into me. And I'm only going to work towards and gravitate towards people who look to pour into me. Not in a narcissistic way. Narcissistic individuals look to take. Healthy individuals are like, look, I want to make sure that the relationships and dealings that I'm in are two-way street, two-way beneficial. You notice all these big companies became big? Yes, because they profits and all that, but why? Initially, when they started out, they were about serving the customer. Yes, you give them money, but they're making sure that they reinforce that relationship with great customer service, delivery on a product, delivery on a promise. Okay? At the end of the day, that's what every good relationship is. Delivering on promises consistently. Even when you have a friendship, what's the promise there? To be there when you need me to be, to check on you, for you to check on me, for you to check me, for me to check you, and for me to make you feel like your life is better with me in it than with me out of it, and vice versa. That is the promise. Narcissists don't believe in that. They believe in like, you here to serve me. You here to benefit my goals, my dreams. I'm gonna lie to you, manipulate you, and guilt you along only so far as I get what I want. I'll give you a little taste of what you should be having consistently. I'll give you a taste as long as you're giving me what I want. And the moment, you're going through something, I'm gonna break out. Or I'm gonna put you down, or I'm gonna cheat on you, or I'm gonna say something that inflames you. Right? That's what narcs do. But you're not like that. You know how I know? Because you're doing research. You're out here asking questions. So I say all that to say this. Take responsibility to get back on the horse. It is now October 1st. I don't know how long ago you got dumped or discarded, or you had to break up with that person that you thought meant the world to you, or you thought you meant the world to them. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. But make October 1st the day that you decide that for the rest of the year, the next 90 days, it's all about you getting back on the horse. And yes, that getting back on the horse can entail learning more about narcs, learning more about how to deal with them, this, that, and the third. Yes, absolutely. But at the end of the day, take responsibility for yourself. Nobody here gonna do it for you. Nobody. Narcs don't take the responsibility for themselves. They look to other people to lift them up. They look to other people to make them look good. They look to other people to validate them. You ain't like that. You can believe in yourself. You don't need all of that. It's not healthy. Okay? Let them stick with that. Remember, in life, you got to either go through it or grow through it. Go through it, meaning you don't grow, you don't do a darn thing, you just get older, or grow through it. You change, you develop, you get more wise, and you go out and help others and help yourself. With that, y'all be blessed, all right? 1.